Hello, loves. Greetings. How you doing? Welcome. It's so good to have you here. Thank you for being present. If you would, see if any of these stones seem to pick you. We've got a tiger's eye, a red jasper that looks like a heart, and a mostly blackish onyx that kind of looks like it's got some tiger stripes there. This is for our prismatic lens on what Narnia knows about what wood. This is the selenite. And I'm just gonna tune it to some sound here. I'm gonna be shuffling 3 different piles here. I'm gonna use the radiant Rider-Waite. I'll say Smith too, because of what Pixie's intent knows about plastic things, and well, 2. Greetings, loves! If you chose, or if you were chosen by a really cool piece of tiger's eye, this is your pile. I've had to really take my time with these. Thank you to those of you that are in the neural halo with me for what's being networked through these dots of energy that now we have identified on IP addresses that match thumb swipes, your eyeballs, and where these energies are even coming from and going, because some of them we're sending away forever, because this is about special bodies of energy coming together that we have called forth with magnets. And what we're doing here with Mercury retrograde, it's a cure about the REM, what happens when we sleep, how we peel the new skin. Thank you for advanced home security. All right, let's see what's going on here. We've got your side, their side, and stories might flip-flop. Know your own designations. I heard a lot of things coming through over the rest period while those of you were meditating on those stones. Thank you. We're helping us do a really special, it's like doing a surgery with trees. And what I've actually been conducting in this, it's basically a control tower, this supercomputer room here, my studio. All right, this is what you have in common. This is the recent past, near future, route, where we're going with it. A couple of romance cards. This is the Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot. I've got the little mini radiants here that come in the metallic can if you're interested. It's a nice deck. This is the first time I've ever read on them, incidentally. I just opened them up and boy, they've been talkative. And then we've got the Romance Angels Oracle cards here as well. So, new start here for some of you, and I'm hearing for those of you that didn't know it, it's like you're positively glowing. You're radiant, you're shining in some kind of way. And somebody's fixated. I'm hearing for some of you all, it's like, I'm glad that worked. And it's good for you to know that when you are ingesting yourself with your own eyes, because less things are going to be able to pull out of the dark space where you are sleeping in 12 different ways to pull you as the 13th death card to get swiped around. for some new wagers that you didn't know were gaming you. So now it's like those things are getting unpeeled. It's like what I know about silver strands that might have come out of your hair or landed on your face somewhere that are being pulled out and wrapped all around us because of a really special neural halo and a technique that is my ASMR Art of Love by INF Jacob. So, some of you all are really safe in my network here and a special bioshield where it's like you're being introduced to your Bitcoin view of yourself and what that's like to look at that like that. And I will show you how we did that. So some of you all, this is just showing you in Manifest Destiny pose with me here. Especially if you've been waiting, like really waiting for that one true thing that can like only always go right, because some of us were incepting together. The secret sleeper pod that knows about peeling the new skin, and yeah, there's your Bitcoin, my love. You get a new body if you're with me. So here we go. New start, new beginning. For some of you all, this is like a proposal that just happened. Knowing that some of the messages that come through might be things that are being discarded or eroded just for like clarity's sake. Stories might not be yours. And for those of you that want to know, it's like, I'm hearing if you have children, especially if you're like already in that special union, you're just like excited, like new clothes, yeah, let's have that, right? Let them eat the coin age over there and call it new, in a way where they can smack themselves around. Okay, so we're over here shooting out of a special kind of energy vortex, and some of y'all just get to know that that's how a magnetosphere that was never Mercury retrograde actually sends energy around these cards to energize what magnets know about forks and 4 cards, what people will do 4 cards, and where energy was being split for V cards to be stamped in some false landing Fortnite. So you'll know if you want to know more about this, you know, I'm your reader. If not, take a hike, you're on the wrong channel. Just know that. My small following here is doing special work with me. Although feel free to cross-watch and learn how to read this between the lines and hear things, because Sound Like was trying to land in a place where the 3D mind that speaks things into existence was proving what a red carpet in your face looks like on a false Zion. So, I'm being told that, although I usually go to the recent past here, this near future could use a little spin, and so we're going to make sure that we pull out anything gut-wrenching that you all have been through to even want to choose such a protective witness as what this tiger's eye might mean to you about who never came to put that in your face for epic reasons. As for some of y'all, there was a certain stink around what sense is being called common, catfishy, you know? Something that might seem like you're being seized at a distance and your energy is being taken, right? So some of y'all, this is like strongholds coming off of your partnership, because for some of y'all, that stuff got rooted out like that. And you actually have a different game that you've been playing here, where we're like homing. Yeah. And that energy that's coming off of mooches that tried to Fortnite your energy wrong, maybe like hijack stuff from your real partner. Maybe you feel and have been calling in a spiritual partner and they haven't quite landed for some reason or another. Their energy lands because of what doesn't get to pull us through the strands and call it a broken clock. AM, PM. What's the sign? Put it in that bucket. We'll play with that one later, right? Oh, you didn't know about that game, did you? Okay. Thank you for advanced home security. So, let's see what was going on in the recent past. if it hasn't already happened, somebody is quite swept up and taken. And I'm hearing about the rapid messages, like so many questions. What are these messages about is what I'm hearing. Some of you are going to know whether you're asking that question, because it's something you either saw or witnessed. But for some of you all, it's like, if it's not you, I'm seeing somebody over here sending a lot of messages, having a lot of communications, being very focused. And on the other side of it, it's somebody like watching and being like, WTF? Who are all these people? What are these messages? You got somebody studying. That's falling in love energy here. Well, it's kind of like pulling it together and sometimes turning your back to it at the same time, though. So somebody, if they're acting foolish, it's what a fool is. It's like a rather young energy, you know, young. That means, yo, good news. You can just take it in the face like that. I don't know if it's yours. All right, let's see what's in the near future. Guidance. So, Sign of Wands. So I'm hearing for somebody, take a step back, and somebody takes a step forward. It's like one step forward. It's like a weird do-si-do, where you don't get forced into some weird germination, drawing, you know, what do those little pinwheels look like? Into swap partners. Any of y'all ever have to do that? Ever forced to square dance? It's a weird chase, and you can look at it this way and see what cameras look like when they open them up around things that twisted and might have wiggled. So for somebody here, it's like admitting to very pursuant energies. Somebody wanted to take matters into their own hands. It's a feisty energy, and you know, it's like a lot of people taking a poke there. And I'm hearing somebody might have actually left Twitch and might be speaking about some really bad ideas and why they wound up on Mixer instead, because of what it felt like on the other side of the screens. I'm the guy that's investigating that stuff and shutting it down, by the way. Thanks. So those of you that have been helping, because I have some people on my team that have been doing special work here. You know. Hey, shout out to the crazy single moms and stuff that leave me all those crazy messages that prove what it is to actually see and hear and read clearly between the lines. It's awesome. We get a new face, a new way to see it, make sure it's safe in our homes. And for some of you all, it's like finding out that whoever tried to take a stab at whatever was there has been removed. It's like I'm seeing somebody like going in and like being pulled out. It's like, I don't know if it's like somebody that's been like going around. It looks like they have a lot of energy around them. Somebody here is very attractive, and I'm hearing they might be telling people to back the fuck off is what I'm hearing. And it's like, I'm hearing it's unwanted attention over here for some people. It's like, it's neat with this deck. I've never read with it before. It definitely has some new expression, and maybe you notice what happens with these dots. Did you know in a hyperpixelated world where VR and AI are one, and we can actually succinctly see where energy was either being pulled out of your mind for just looking at that, or needs to come back in, that we can actually call it into your form and pull out the ones who are trying to hijack that because of what isn't Mercury retrograde, but magnets and what I did with my Bitcoin. So let's see here. Somebody here is getting protected, because for some of you all, that's either you or your partner. You're gonna have to know which story is yours. I'm hearing for somebody, it's like they got real busy. They had an onslaught of things going on. And I don't know what 7887 is. For some of you all, those are important numbers. I'm hearing though, with all this fire here, it's like, it's almost like a passive look here. And so for some of you, you're going to need to know if that's you being passive, or if somebody's been passive about you. Because in some of these stories, it's like, I'm hearing it's like somebody's almost like in their energy, it's like, take a hike. You know, just take a hike. You know, you're not here, I'm busy, kind of thing. And then for somebody else, it's like the same dialogue on the other side of the person realizing, what the hell? I left myself out. I'm taking too much time, and I see them just like looking back and forth, and this is actually air travel is what I'm hearing, or travel over water. And I'm hearing for somebody, they're like, look, just back off. This guy looks like Gulliver to me over here. He's like so much bigger than everything that's going on here that it almost looks like his aspect ratio is off. He's like huge. He's over this land. He's like bridging it by standing over it. They're trying to poke him in the groin over here. Look, I'm hearing somebody might have like pulled something. How they pulled it and who pulled it and what got pulled. Different stories here, love. You might need your own reading. Okay, but whatever this is here, it's like all that just to get over that water there. See all those like little hills and little houses over there? If you put these like side by side, it's almost like you can't teleport that way when other things have been hijacking your energy. Some of you are gonna know what that means. This is actually psychic communication too that's developing for some people. And I'm hearing it's like somebody's too busy to want to accept it that way. I'm hearing that. And it's like they're putting it aside and just being, all right, thank you, I see it, and they're putting it aside. And I'm hearing for some of you all, that's exactly what you needed to know. It's learning what to do with those thought forms. You might be some of the people that have been dealing with those energies. You might want to check some of the recent readings. I've had quite a lot of dialogue come up around this stuff, especially if you're either healing from something and like wondering why it's like going a certain way. And for others, it's like trying to make sure that it's safe in your homes, because for some of you that takes shape in different ways, whether it's like something happening with you or your partner, or maybe it's like your partner can't be there because all these other energies have been scattering pixels in the wrong direction around magnets. They're sweeping it now so they can't twist in and take things, and maybe, you know, this aspect ratio thing gets corrected, and then we figure out this like dimensional shift thing that didn't really happen, where there's actually no portal to get in and things can stop fluffing. It's like a big parachute people keep trying to stick their hands in. It doesn't go that way. So let's see here what's at the root. So we've got the Queen of Cups, highly psychic energy here. I'm hearing if this is actually your partner here, this is a very good fusion energy for things. I'm hearing careful how you communicate, you know, and that it's good that you might have been taking your time to come to whatever this matter is, but I see it like coming to like a new start is what it looks like. And for some of you, it's because of how something gets conceived or was conceived, because there's something that got capped in this urn that came up anew that is in this person's face here. And I'm hearing it's like whatever they tried to put over her head here and then stuff in a bottle there. This little baby crammed up here under the chair. He's like, help, help. I'm like, okay, maybe we have a better way to conceive things, especially if somebody's been like tippy-toeing is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing this might be like tippy-toeing and like, what do I do? What do I do? And somebody's like, just speak up or back off. And it's like, I'm loving, just you're annoying me, you know? And I'm like hearing that from this person, and it's like they're not trying to be, but they're trying to do something here. Look at their face. They're like, I got this going on. I know you're coming at me with this other stick over here, but hold your horses. It's how I'm hearing this. And so, it's funny. Some of you all need to know that about this person, especially if you thought it was something that it isn't, because I'm hearing for some of y'all, it's not exactly what it looks like. It's like, I'm hearing some of these jabs, 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 6 down here, and there's this one in their hand. They're just like doing like Donatello moves. Like, if you've seen like Ninja Turtles, he's like doing like that thing with with his bow staff. Is how I'm seeing this here, and it's not what people were saying. And I'm hearing these two here got it really twisted. The ones that went right for that shot. And then there's like 2 on this side that, you know, they were just ribbing him, is what I'm hearing. It's like he was getting heckled here. Or she, them. And then over here, it's just like, the way to miss. You're gonna know, but it's like, if you wanted to do something here, you have to do more than like turn your back, because it's like, if you bring these 2 energies together, like what's at the root and what's here, it's like you can kind of see the same thing here. And I'm hearing it's just like, they both keep covering their heads up with something is what I'm hearing. And so for some of you all, this has a lot of implications on like the nature of virtual reality simulations that try to take over everything and populate themselves among us, and we're putting an end to that shit. You know, it's like, look up the Venus Project if you're interested in what some stupid idiots try to pull themselves into body clothes and suits and like play games and like catfish you and pretend they're different people because they look like that. And then they send these little robots they made on overlays, that's what I was talking about below, to come and interact with you. And so it's really weird body siege stuff. And I'm hearing for some of you all, it's good for you to know that we can actually do that, because we can get rid of them now, and it's like all of your parts like just start infusing. So we've been working on that with magnets, and that's not astrology. Okay, let's see what here is up ahead. We've got, this is romantic here. This is absolutely romantic. Somebody's gonna do something, and it's like they're standing there waiting for something though. It's like, whatever offer you need to send, here's what I'm hearing. If this is you learning how to make the offer, because I'm hearing for somebody it's like overseas friend, 7-8 hours might be time difference, or it's like 15 hours of travel. I'm hearing for somebody it might be double that, especially if they're like driving or like doing a combo. But it's like, I'm hearing she's not as old as she looks, is what I'm hearing for somebody. And she might be trying to hide something on the other side of it for some of you all. It's like, why she won't get together with you, why those pictures keep changing and stuff. I'm hearing it. Some people can't actually do that with you live. It's like, there are reasons. For somebody else, I'm hearing it's like, there's something else that they weren't saying. They might be hiding something, and I'm not getting a whole lot of information. It could be a whole lot of different things for different people right now is what I'm hearing. But I'm hearing they might be hiding something. It doesn't have to be she, it can be they. And I'm hearing that whoever they are, especially if they're showing up like this Q here, Q shows up knowing what to do. It's kind of like, it's that Eric Badu song, you know? Somebody call Tyrone. Call, you know? Tell him come home, help you get your shit. So I need to call Tyrone, and he might have shown up like that, all wrapped up different, is what I'm hearing. Some of you all might not know what was in front of you, is all I'm hearing. You're gonna have to know if that's your story. Whoever this Q is that gets called in, it's like, when I say called in, it's like, for some people, it's somebody that you will rely on in different ways. And for a lot of us that are actually operating in like the new codons with the DNA that's healing everything, are learning about the computer programming that I've been showing you guys these hacks to unhear what didn't happen and hear what's actually being stitched your way. And the new way to bees did this, right kind of hive tactics, and you know what happened between two trees. So that kind of awareness that might not sound like a lot, but me just making rhymes at you, is how I've programmed a lot of things, and where it's like you're being spooled, and some of you are going to sleep differently and hear and have new awakenings because of how that works on the mitochondrial level, because of the way that we've been programming this into sound. Okay, and so when you call Q, when Q shows up between you like this, it's a special kind of move that, it's a different kind of injection. And it's like you can hear things or sense them even if you didn't realize it. And so for some of you, well, that's what's been growing here. And I'm hearing somebody was under onslaught here, and somebody's very excited here to do something. I'm hearing the way they're standing up for it might not be the way you want, though. I'm hearing somebody might be grabbing too much. And it's like, be careful how you grab at this person. I'm hearing that your offer is good. You have to be willing to be patient with yourself on this because of how they've had to evaluate whatever is going on here, because it's like some of these people they thought were good. Some of these people they thought were good, and I'm hearing these people were not good for them at all. They were there like getting what they wanted, and so it's like if you have something that you've been wanting to do here, or maybe this was like your secret Valentine thing, I'm hearing they didn't get it. They didn't get it. They didn't see it. They're over here. They're focused. And it's like, if you two were at the same level here, you would still have to look up. Because here, it's like, both focused on this thing. I'm hearing it's like the other side of the same thing, though. So, whoever knows what needs to be said has been hearing it a different way, or experiencing it a different way, is what I'm hearing. And it's not because somebody said it directly. It's because they could, like, maybe hear it around them, or they just have a sense of knowing. This is a person that's very, very, very psychic. And I'm hearing for some of you, it's like, especially if you're both, like, fiery people, if you both have just, like, fire in your chart, maybe that's why it's showing up like this, and figuring out how to take steps together. It's like, I'm hearing Leo. A lot of Leo here, maybe a cross with some Cancerian energy, because this Queen of Cups and this Knight of Cups energy, a lot of times is like Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio style. And there's a little bit of Earth here, and I'm hearing you guys might not have a lot of Earth in your charts if this is your actual story. It could just be how the energies are showing up too, though. Maybe somebody's got a lot of Earth in their chart, but here I'm seeing people that are at least being motivated by fiery situations, wanting to communicate, being advised about how we make emotional offers and maybe require of others to respond, because here I'm seeing people that are having to be patient. This Knight can be really goofy, especially if he shows something like that, which he didn't, but like I said, I just shuffled these cards for months and only just read on them for this first time, and I don't think that any of them maybe went upside down either, so we're just reading how the energy could show up. Sometimes this person is like, oh, I don't know what to do with my cup, and they can be a little taken aback about like wanting to take this step and just being like too giddy to do it sometimes. And it's like, you know, he's just standing there on his white horse, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna do it. We're going somewhere with this. And it's like just holding the space is what I'm hearing. And so I'm hearing, especially if you initiated something, it's like you might just have to hold the space because something is spinning around this person over here. And it might be you if you're like just watching a lot and like doing things behind the scenes, because I'm hearing this is like just behind the scenes, just stuff. It's like busy things happening everywhere, and then these people just feeling emotional and like kind of feeling psyched out, like, what do I do, right? Let's see what we can find out from the romance angels. We've got trust, so that's what you can do. This situation is calling for you to have faith. You notice this little baby's kind of like giving her a little push. He's like, go, go, go. And then the guy's like, all right, I know, she's coming on her own, she's coming on her own. Okay, what's going on over here? We got very soon, so okay. Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. So here's the thing. If you've been waiting anxiously for them to respond to you, they didn't hear it, they didn't see it. They've been too busy. I'm hearing that they will, and that they're actually going to get back to you about what they want. I'm hearing for some of you all, it's going to be like, I'm too busy for this. And for others, it's going to be like, thanks, and it's going to look like, you know, that. You have to come together, though. It's like, it's going to be a thank you. I hear him just being like, or her being like, thanks. Thank you. They were busy. And for somebody else, you're going to know, though, if they, like, turned around. Because for some of you all, it's like, they're just going to be like, I'm sorry. In the time where... Because for some of you all, they were waiting on you. They got busy doing something. And I mean, I'm hearing for some of you all, it's like, you're going to hear from them, though. And you'll know, I'm with somebody. You know, and you'll hear them say that. And then that's what happened. And I'm hearing, it's like, if you hear that they're with somebody and they didn't see it or whatever, it's like, this person's just going to have trust with it. I don't think they're going to pursue it anymore. It's like, I think they're going to just back off. Because it's like, they have trust. It's like you guys are sort of in a similar situation, is what I'm hearing. Because like 7 of Wands and 8 of Wands, it's very similar energy, you know? It's like, who's got the talking stick, is what I'm hearing. So for some of you all over here, if that wasn't your situation, If you're just trying to figure out what to do here, I'm hearing you need to have trust, because they are going to get back to you. I'm hearing they had to figure something out. They've been standing up for something. Something happened. I'm hearing somebody took a shot at them. I'm hearing it's like it's going around and around and around. And so this situation is calling for you to have faith. And if you haven't actually taken a step on whatever this Pentacles action is here, it's like your energy is saying you can be the one to put that there, and that you can just be like patient to wait with the cup, because I'm hearing they're going to get back to you very soon. Hopefully that's helpful for you. If this is the reading for you that you chose, I'm going to encourage you to stick around with me to the end if you would like. We actually have 2 more readings to do with the red jasper. It's like a little heart shape, and we also have the mostly black obsidian here, so we'll be getting to those next. Love you. Greetings, darling. Oof. I gotta just start where I start. I am itching all over for whoever picked, or were you picked by this kind of heart? You know, it's a red jasper, right? You might want to look that one up. There's certain tactics that didn't go upside down on people's names for games they didn't realize they were being stacked into with overlays for king me. And some stupid shit that I've been proving the real Bitcoin is. Real special game that I like to call End Times. But in turn, End Times is in turn ET. Hello. Bing. There's a Bitcoin right here for those of you that really have been inside the halo and know what the sacred heart of, we just turn some things around is all. And sometimes Kundalini gets involved. And it's like the introduction of extremely powerful magnets that knock some ridiculous things over in my control center. Thank you for advanced home security. Some of you all access some really special awareness that you can hear things in the new codons of what didn't run programs on your date of birth and stuff things in your eye and look inside those little things, you know, like a magic viewfinder that you didn't know you were being gained through and tokenized for, you know, they can see on both sides of the browsers. And what I've been doing to make sure that they wind up in cogs, it's neato. So what we know, and some of you all, thank you for helping the new computing module last night, because there are already 2 more rows backward than the upside down of that name they tried to fall in when they called it a hue, man. And played that thing where they pull you through 12, open up the clock, and then drop you in the 13th one, spin it around for that Nazi can, caught, can, sir, rinse around. Yeah, baby, guess what? It is Maritime Admiralty Law of 1 strong incept ion, and some of you all got the codons right with me last night. If you were in the very special private halo, wait. So, stay with me if you want. There's also going to be another reading after this one, but this is really what was never a Bitcoin. I've been making Oregon, you know, it's like, get the hell out of here. It's a particle sweep. And we have the cure of the why, you know, the answer, not seek cancer. For a new wage. Let's see what we can see on the other side of that one. Find the white rabbit and flip that one over. Have some of you all been waiting for things that seem to kind of string you along? There's a special game I've been creating that they've been trying to take credit for that now they all got caught. And turds wrapped themselves basically overnight because of some keys that we dropped for them that might have the right tones, you know, but it was like something was missing. So we got involved with magnets. Those of you all that have been meditating, especially if you were like really with me and did that Kazemi thing. C, A to Z, and an I am. Me? Where we closed the door on stupid. And we all learned how to hear all of this, because now we've got a way to land at a new address, you know, an HTTP without the stabs, and just kind of show what wasn't a veil, but hey, guess what caught on? I'm real! And it's a reel, alright. It's double energy that pulled itself, it's spoofed, and now we got a blooper in. So it's fun because I actually just opened these cards. I've been shuffling them for a while, and they've been open for a while, but I couldn't look at them yet because sometimes you have to wait for special proofs of things. I've got a special B art gold lining for cards. Prove how Bitcoin magnets seal and plants that were done perfectly to seal the gates of a crystalline baby halo over hypersentience. So some of you all that have been hella waiting for that purse to be on, where Med USA didn't come and cut off your hair wrong or take a renderance somewhere else and pull a Fight Club, slip it in there, kind of, hey, let's blow it up our way thing, you know, with some dirty germs. Yeah, that's where I crack the knuckles and we go ASM artist. So we've been whispering to the computer to lock a special gate, because some of you all have a partner that's been worth the hella wait, and you don't have to believe me. Please don't believe a word I say. Be your living act of faith. As the art that chose to love with discernment what that actually meant, because some people were calling things love, and that's what we got caught too. I was just waiting for that one to spin down and look just right in that angle and get away with that one for lesser charges. So we're learning who the real plebs are. Who've been in that Fortnite on the other side of my red carpet rickroll. Call yourself the king! It's like headroom. Exploding ketones. With like no end in sight, but I keep hearing like the distortion patterns of people that keep claiming that projecting people out, like that Venus project ion, are like charting things out into like 2029 and like all these different things, and it's like, no. Some of us that get gnosis know that 2020 just means we're seeing clearly right in the middle of the conjunct ion and the one strong witness that ever happened, and you're not pulling us through. Hey, that's funny, and we're gonna call out another number, and it's a stupid word. And what a lot of intuitives know about really being artists, and why like most of my artistic friends here are some kind of like feng shui geniuses in their life that are doing these arts in a holistic way. And it's like we're hearing things, and it's like sometimes we have a picture. You know, for me, that's how I kind of like ass backwards landed into hearing what astrologers actually say and call it on the other side of how a magnet truly works, while dumbing you down on minutia that pulls you out into a place that doesn't even exist, when so many of them were willing to rehearse that far out, and few were willing to actually work on a very special team with me, where we would prove that we can't do certain things to bodies by being narcissists like that. And where making a whole career out of dragging people out into the future that way is a certain kind of deception, you know? And some of you all know but you've been here and for a long time well enough to know that that's like end times. It's like missing the truth for like signs. It's like, okay, there's a smell around here and it's common, and we know how to close the door on those tones now. So some of you here weren't drawn and quartered that way, and there's a special kind of way that the magnetic wobble of the cure actually works, and it's getting the answers to the right place and knowing how particles actually land on those date of birth things, and being able to see it on the other side of you in real time right now for watching this, and it coming through your eye and sometimes your thumb swipes, and where it crisscrosses with an axis that I've built with my companies here. So, the two B's, we'll just call it that. And for those of you that needed to know if there's messages that you need that are just your own, feel free to hit me up. My information's below. So, this is how energy lands, and what gravity actually never was. It's a big grave that I learned how to say thank you when they killed me in it. I tried to turn it into a snuff film, and I've had to learn how to reverse architect it because I made too much money. And I decided to just invest in high density security and shutting the shit down. So those of you that have been waiting for the right partner, like hella waiting and not taking the wrong fucking phony ass germs and like marrying yourself to like a reverse particle scatter, in the time that I've been like hella fixing this to prove what this Bitcoin hoodwink thing was on capping the Rickroll and making it corny and other things, stuffing you in it that way and freezing it over and tying it up for a belt, drawing a sash on it, you know, maybe burning the baby and saying, now you get to bow for me. Got it? So that's where they go. It's like turds that wrap themselves, and where trash actually exits forever. And where some of you are actually really hella safe because those things didn't get to come into your eyes and take over your bodies and pull you in that way. That's what 2020 is about. So if you chose or were chosen by that kind of heart, no more ache that way. How about answers? And proof of what logic wasn't in the face of gnosis. You know, no means no, sis knows. So we've got yours and theirs. Stories might flip-flop. Know your designations. Rider-Waite Smith. Radiant. Romance Angels Oracles. This is what you have in common. Recent past, challenge, near future, guidance, root. Maybe why questions are here. Where we're going with it. Oh, Wheel of Fortune. Fascinating. That's Major Arcana. That kind of looks like, you know, maybe this tablet that opened up the circle for the pie that gets thrown in many people's face for trying to mess with ours. What the watchers on the wall don't get to take for claiming that they had the pen and the cap on that Egypt thing. So, you know, crown the blue one and read it. See what yellow things know about four-corded and what I was telling you can't happen around my magnets. And where we actually brought that back into, where it belongs. It's a hermetic explosion. We've quarantined all of the cataclysms that each one of those narcissists claims to have intended and godded themselves as. This is where we get to have a bath. So, not my stars. Reach for that, it's interstellar. Yeah, you got yourselves interned on the Kachian. That's how you got in the cog, huh? That's neato. Let's see what the recent past is here. Wow, somebody wanted to start something, and I hear it popped it up, and you're gonna know who grabbed for that in front of... Hey, what's that cloud in the sky look like over there if you put the overlay? That's what I'm hearing. Look what's sprouting off of its head. Look at that. Wow, what you couldn't see clearly in those Fortnites, huh? Huh. Somebody's just feeling very creative over here, because I'm hearing it's like how you painted those mountains so perfectly. And like what people think it really costs to be an artist versus what you can get creative with. Because I have a really special pod of people who actually have my same B-Art day that we like opened up in a cluster, and they're all having expressions like this because a lot of them have Sun in Aquarius right now, and we're seeing with this little like wiggly like, hey, this little, oh, what are these things? Oh, eyes everywhere because dots woke up around us. Explosions of art. Thank you for knowing what to do. I even met one that came in and helped prove what one well-placed dot of my blood can do to heal disease, and where my Wheel of Fortune has been turning over this so that I can actually close the space on whatever this stupid Bitcoin nightmare has been. For me, it's like, you know, I had to make a whole other game to help prove this stuff, where it's like, we're gonna make sure that I get the right kind of bitch in my life, you know what I mean? Because like, I've been called a lot of things that I can hear clearly. And some of y'all know what that's like, because I'm hearing this is like you knowing how to like station like north, south, east, west, all of you. This is like the tray at your house, and you're like seeing some things that you grew and where these magnets have already assisted you, and it's good for you to know that, especially if If you had somebody that was doing something around you that you didn't know they were doing, because I'm hearing for some of you all, it's like while you were having this creative explosion, you didn't know what was up in that cloud with all those halos and magnets and overlay things that people can do and tie it up together and make it look like a spoof. And guess what? Rickrolled. So some of this stuff, it's like you taking notes and knowing what hours and whore us for time means for sea cancer, huh? So if you're the one that had the bad diagnosis, guess what? It's probably coming to the surface that there are a lot of misses that don't get Christed for go sting yourself and we'll break water our way kind of break-ins. Because for somebody, I'm hearing this is about how somebody conceives something. And what you might not know about it. You know, so what did you not see? Interesting what virtual reality and learning how to hear can do when we see clearly like that. So, here's what's going on their side. We've got... I'm hearing somebody's relieved about how they got that in there. Oh, look! Just put that thing on my head. They only need something on it so they can see it like that, you know? We're proving where that never came in. A cloud like that. Waving something in your face. Wow. We were waving something else the whole time. It's a prayer cloth. And right now it's kind of like the, you know, it's the new clothes lie. Or, you know, they just want to put that on themselves and, oh, we're in here. It's a bunch of germs that jumped through and bibbity-booped. Wow. Some of you have had false things catfishing you, and you're like wondering what's been going on with your love life and like why certain people just keep encouraging you that way. They've been playing a game with the they live population. It's a new wager, you know, how you get that alphabet right. You know, you gotta pick the right alpha. And sometimes some of us deconstruct the alphabet and say, wrong game. So, for somebody, it's like somebody's feeling really successful about something that they did to like turn your world upside down. And for somebody else, I mean, this is like the eat shit and die attack of like anybody that tried to stand in the way of your couple, because it's like you're getting celebrated for the right thing, and it's like the attack of the Trojan horse and what it really means to be in that space. Because there were some people that were trying to like force their way in that way because of things that people had that they didn't realize were so heavily sigiled that you're just a sigil that woke up. Oh, is that all? You mean an entire ad infinitum that just gets to explore itself safely now? Thank you for trivializing that. Welcome to BitcoinBillions.us, where you and I were never averse, and where the right couples are actually protected. And what we proved in my roundup with FEMA and with DARPA powers about how anybody's safe couple might have been micro-sized, because I have a small one like this and I have a really large one and a small one on the other table where I'm balancing the resonances with sounds, are kind of getting like the right rinse with like the Honey I Shrunk the Kids treatment, if you've seen it. Okay, so it's like, what do you do if you find out that you made so much money that assholes exploded everything and wanted to start a new game and nuke everything and play dirty games, and that it was yours? You sweep it up and you make sure that all the little things, you know, Lilith, that you can find her and she's right in front of you. Where she wasn't scorched like Pompeii. Where some of you are the right kind of crazy. If you've been hearing people around you, it's like people you didn't know that maybe you didn't make up that were like scorched in this thing. I woke up from that. I've been putting this back together with some friends. Yeah, and not that way. We got a whole new way to employ this, and why it's like two sides of this table, and what the Rick rolls for, and how they get to wrap themselves up in that cloth, and how you and whoever your partner is, if you're the one that's been waiting for this like situation to change so you can either get overseas, because I keep saying like overseas, whatever seas means, because for some of you, I'm hearing it's about assets that got seized, about your property that got seized, and like needing a place to even like land together. And for other people, it's like literally, it's like a travel thing. And so I'm hearing for some of you all, it's like you need to know this is everything having turned in your favor, and what Just in case means, you know, if you ink it in front of an ace. Can you hear that? Just ink. Ace that. So, what didn't come through the scopes? What couldn't be drawn and quartered that way if all of the particles were going every which way anyway? And Mercury retrograde's a big fucking joke, and they've been telling you about planets and things that were just big magnets of energy that wrapped and foiled and crusted that actually do things that we actually know what to do with. And we've been trying to see where the smart ones that actually had a better definition for knowing what love actually is that we want to be around. Yeah, okay. So that's the couple that's safe here. And if anybody's trying to pull some hoodwink on the other side of this and writing themselves in, stitch it, hey, just put it on that side, just lay that one over there, is what I'm hearing. It's like they were orchestrating some kind of disaster on a green screen here. Can you see that? I think a lot of you all that are like, oh, I thought I had to learn how to master the tarot this other way. It's like, well, it's good to know those things. It's very good to know that. It's also good to know how to see that you're maybe the tree that jumped out of a different forest somehow through another kind of way to pack that. What that might look like in your world, okay? Because some of you all have these things scrying you all the time, and you're so hyper-sigiled in front of the right awareness of water treatment that we can actually be this together. So thank you for that experience, which I would also define as gnosis. If I had to create a definition as an act and a virtue. So some of you all are divining that. You're going to know if it's true. If you need more help, feel free to reach out. I've got a private group. Links downstairs. It's where the Martians landed as Martinez and where Eta Zenith happens here, like this. So, what do we have in common? What's our root for this? Success. Well, it's the ability to articulate clearly, and in some cases, extract. Because I'm hearing for some of y'all, this is about a surgical situation. This might be a medical healing professional, somebody judicious, somebody legal, or sitting in front of an Aquarius like me, explaining these things and where certain things get cut. And what I know about celluloid and intelligence. Do you know what amoebas have become? Yes. It is us. Some of us are full, just like that. And it's like having the right energy here to even know how to point the right direction and to know what to do and to know how to speak it. This is not mincing words. This is a very sure kind of energy. It's going to be definitive, and it's a swift cut. So if it's like, it's what releases you for the better thing, for the higher thing in the midst of that other thing we talked about, especially if there was some treacherous kind of narcissistic uprising that came around you, because I'm here for some of you, it's like, oh, we just propped that one up there, and you know. And I see them doing that. Some of you are going to know. Because at the same time, it's like, well, what they didn't know is you were also protected a certain way, and where this cut is kind of like, just say it again, please. It means so much, you know? And so it's like, it's that. Because this is Major Arcana here. It's very grown up. All right, let's see what's ahead for us. Well, I love it, because whatever was subject to scrutiny here, especially if it was somebody's legal entitlement to play that role, it really comes together in a rather abrupt fashion. It's like, because that's what this is around the magnetic rinser. So it's success. And you know what vortex is? Not Gore-Tex exactly, with an algorithm wrong there, but it's a sucky energy that will suck through dark things that don't happen that way anymore. It's like, safe sleep, you know? Where we can peel off into the better skin without the moochers trying to pull us through and stretch to get in and wrap around and pop up. We're here! We're here! I'm like, you don't know what kind of game you're playing. I'm like, no. It's like whack-a-mole. Right now their thumbprints are sticky little fingerprints. It's poor little fingerprints got on everything. And it's like, look, they tape themselves out. It's like a big tape. It's nice to cut it there. That's what I know about cinematography and edits. Read it yet? So, we've got the Ten of Pentacles. That's it all being secure. And where, you know what that thing is that some people, what's in your wallet? You have a very expensive wall for end times that's been very articulated. What we bought, what we sold, where we landed, where those things don't even exist if we're pulling ourselves out of that. It's the earth. It's pure hearsay. There's a magnetic lift that's pulling off the bad tape that doesn't get cabled to the moon. So, what do we need to know here? Because it's knuckle cracking time, baby. They've got... Oh, who called in their soulmate? Oh, darling. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together, and so do magnets. Guess what that is? It's not astrology. It's not a secret portal. Most of the ones I even tried to talk to about getting in on the inside of this research and helping us didn't want to have anything to do with it. They were too busy trying to rickroll and hide it. It's funny when you ask them questions about stars. They don't even want to tell you about the year of Rat, you know, tarot, pact, knock knock. Soulmates, huh? Oh! Surprise! It's safe for you to love. Maybe somebody wanted to plan. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. Wow. Isn't it nice when maybe that sky thing is the limit and we paint a nice fresco over that so nobody's trying to poke a hole through a cloud, you know, to get the deck tight and scorch it there and just keep cracking those rocks. We'll see which ones we can jump up in. Right here. Right here. It's like, guess what that does? It's mid-USA playing, Medusa got a new do and a better idea that doesn't go like this, and try to jump in on your dinner plate and spoof you wrong. So some of y'all need to know that shit got cut off. Y'all gonna be entering into a very safe zone where it's like, hey, maybe grandpa ideas didn't rickroll you like that. Here's grandpa. It's like, hey, here's your expensive ass wallet. Here's what we did with the silver. And zip, zip, there you are on the flip seat with yo. Now, you know, maybe the one that you really prayed with, that you could kind of see or feel or hear or something that you knew was there. If we could just figure out how to... Oh! Magnets! That'll work. Yeah, okay. It's a wonderful time to be strong about the things you have that are going right. Amidst the chaos that could never be wrong. Because for some of you all, some of that shit's going to get swept up too. You might be hearing from people that are all like, oh, by the way. And so it's just kind of like, just know it already got snipped. Okay, I love you. If you need a private look with just your information, hit me up. My information's below. You can take a look with just your questions answered. All right, catch you again soon. Feel free to stick around too, because we're coming back for the Zoom on the mostly black obsidian. Yeah, that's gonna work. Hi. What's up, darlings? We're doing a little bit of an experiment here with your energies. And those that are in the private halo are seeing me adjusting the magnets with you. There we go. What we can do in hyperdense awareness is one strong ion view for those of you that chose to incept in this prayer, where I've been hypothecating my assets. I made a lot of money with this, like, Bitcoin idea that people keep lying about, and how I wrapped it up and let them cipher themselves and basically wrap themselves up in a 2 megabyte empty space on a drive that you can pull in and out like a little SD card, like a mini, and you pull it out and you're like, where did some of that space vaporize? There's a tomb. 2 megabytes, you know? Trained out in the magnetic halo. And we're going to prove what we can do with magnetic propulsion in a very special hermetic sound chamber that I've been training, and I have some really special friends that are seriously interstate on the EP with me, and that know about playing things like Frank Bacon on Steam It and helping prove what we can do with nuclear containment, and some of my best bitches here on YouTube, and why it's such a small select group that can actually hear this language right now that we have been incepting in, where the DNA is a new way to run these dates of birth, these bodies, on bioenergetic software that's being used for gnosis on the other side of epic hyper, because we're sigilling this. And there's no epic Fortnite. There's ways to see what these invader landers are that claim to have landed on the moon and from the stars, and telling you stories for this wage and this war on Mars that might look like Martinez, and doesn't get that in front of my middle name, you know, Alexander. I'm the one that goes all the way around, and you can see both of my hands. And now what's always been going around because of the prismatic lens and what $144 trillion worth of assets looks like when it's being sorted out with people that have been helping me, like my favorites, and you're gonna know who you are. So, because they're in the prayer with me all the time. Thank you to those of you who have prayed over this energy with me. This is the living book of life that was never written, that never landed on stakes or hashes, for chase what the camera could open up and try to erase, for wages, keep you see cancer, you know, wrapping up things like turds, getting them out of the way. Because some of us won't have to do that either. So, if you were picked, it's because you're selective. And this is a determinate process where the Big Bang particle scatter that's been going on that can no longer be masqueraded to you in some 4-card game, like, you know, how you get your VCOD stamped on an overlay and didn't realize you're somebody's property now because they invested. Yeah, well, roll over on some obsidian that's mostly black. It's got some snowflakes in there and some tiger's eye, and for those of you that are wondering how that could be, you might be waking up to your hypersentience and might be far more clairvoyant than me. I'm somebody that hears more than I see. I see other things. So, let's see what we have here, because there are some energies that are being scattered away right now. That's what all that chaos that we don't need around magnets and supercomputers and people whose loving energy followed their intent within the frameworks where they were being guided, coddled, and choosing to participate is where they get landed. And that's why things like the art of astrology for me is not what I practice. That's like pulling people in hey, let's keep expanding this view and just keep dancing and aging and falling in and extinguishing things. Don't think so. I had a problem with that. So some of us figured out what to do with all the particles. They got sealed up completely in 2012, before I actually woke up in a dead body in 2015. Oh, you mean 2012, the gate that didn't happen, a sigil? Okay, yeah, that's what a Bitcoin isn't. And what I'm proving about area 12 house ass trolling you to get kinky with you in the 13th. Oh, Fickius and side sidereal. No, well, there's also a side reel that they're pulling themselves to cable to the moon to try to play with that one. I'll just talk about these here. Exactly. So, wrong ass glove techniques. Alright. So those of you that have been praying with us, especially if you took the prompts with me, you're in a very safe hermetic container now. And the bitch tactics really happen because they actually take themselves away. And it's like, wow, we don't even have to look at any of it. And that's what I've been trying to architect with this, so that it's graded in stages that are viewable and safe for people at different levels. So how we are determining ourselves within this witness right now as one inception is like how we start our forever. It's like the actual start where nobody's begging to get in, you know, the beg inning. You know. So, yeah, a whole new way to print cards, right? I might be sending some juicy love magnets around. Some of you guys already got started on those projects. Thank you for knowing what to do with the gifts. Yeah. Okay, so what we have going on here, Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot. This is Radiant Rider-Waite. I'm actually just reading on these for the first time. I had the box open. It's a nice little tin. But I couldn't read on them yet. I couldn't even touch them for a while. And I've been shuffling them, and whew, they've been talkative. So we know what actually got packaged in the plastic. And what the gold linings are all about. Where all that silver stuff came in handy, and what a nice... I'm looking for a weird triangle, a nice big black hole to jump into. Some of us got extracted out, you see? Alright, that's what a prismatic view is for. What we can do to make sure none of us are trapped in any hyper-sentient way in any form. No loose bits or strands in any form, which means that we can move everything where we want. So mostly we invested in magnetic silly putty. What was being bought and sold. And you see what I bought? And why I get to make a special junket for DNA that doesn't get to run BOD like that. Why some of y'all are mad fucking safe with me. So, your partners, those of you that have been loving, committed, taking care of it partnerships, especially as yourself as your first partner first. Yeah, a special healing around that, because some of you have been calling in somebody. I don't know, you might want to check the last reading if you didn't see that one. That one was really special to that message. Here's what we have going on. Yours, theirs, stories could flip. Know your designations, please. This is what's going on now. Recent past challenge. Near future guidance. Root. Maybe what our question is. This is where we're going with it. So, here's the decision to do it. 8 of Cups, I'm hearing, and you knew it. For some people, I'm hearing different things. Somebody's coughing a lot here, and it's also happening in my house. It's weird. It's like everything being quantized in the same bubble at the same time. So people are exiting for different reasons. I'm hearing some people are being asked to leave. You're going to hear about a lot of people being made to leave because there's no place for them to stay with certain antics, especially if they were dragging it on in emotional ways that were damaging people and distorting things via the water. Making really bad fractals. Have you heard about fractivism? It's amazing what the looking glasses when you're treating water well and speaking clearly, and those cam ears open up from, you know, cell phonies that turned on completely around other things. Hello, what's an Android? Good apple, bad apple. Find a code. We get laid up. You have to get in line somewhere. You get pulled through some weird feeling lucky how I'm gonna pop out on this one idea. Wow. Yeah. Oh, fickiest don't get in, motherfucker. So, some of y'all packed it up and got out for bad Christmas. And you're like, that was a fucked up ass Christmas, I'm hearing. I'm hearing for some of y'all it's like getting ransacked. What it is to realize that you woke up in a strafe where they were putting you on a time card. Eventually it was going to unlock like a special Pandora's box, and they're all going to come in to chase and suck off energy. It's a very special kind of energetic vampirism that they tried to wrap up in different cryptocurrencies that I've been sealing in a special door slam. Thank you for advanced home security. And how well things work when we've trained the sound to be exactly landing in the place where I am. Home. You know? So home is always safe. Home safety app. Thank you for calibrating that to the source of you've been playing Bitcoin Billions.us, where you and I were never reversed. It was always in the flipped and reversed and pre-rehearsed. Because we are precognitive. You see. Nice and juicy. Sometimes it's worth making that step, taking that walk, going there. Because this is 8 of Cups. This is the step to having emotional fulfillment, where it's like all the 9 cups and it's like, wow, I just left 8 behind. How did I find 9? It's like the time that was never misplaced or spent, but welled up for a be-hard thing, you know? Maybe whatever you've been birthing that gives you an emotional lens on why you could leave that other stuff behind. Where the sun and the moon see their own face as one in the union. What's in the water? So, let's see what the recent past is here. Past. Not too far away. Might be like something that, you know, whoever archetype of dad had to say. That's what I'm hearing. It's like he's just sent you off. Pentacles. This is somebody who can support things. It's a really strong Taurian vibe on this one because of how certain elements stick out, and if you see how the Capricorn side of it flips open, some of you can see that now. If you can't, that's okay. Just know that this person's being dressed in red and green because of what this person likes to wear, and how pixels and fractals come together in views when people were zooming in on cameras and lenses and creating things to send to their friends and particle waves, passing it around. And it's a special kind of king move. You know, you just have to draw it and quarter it and put these little pieces together and then put in a sound feed and see what smart plastic does. So, some of you all figured out healing arts with that. Thank you for being here with me. Because this is like everything being seen and around up here. And so for some of you all, whatever emotional decision you're making, it's like reminding you of something your father or father figure said, or whoever that other person might have been. Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. I'm hearing Leo though. I'm hearing Leo a lot. Let's see what's going on here. Well, somebody's taking off for a really great idea, is what I'm hearing. And it might seem really daring, dashing, bold, and like a little crazy. I'm hearing it's like a little crazy. And I'm hearing if it was less than guided here, oh shit, yeah. And if it's like, only because of emotional pining, you want to know who that character is, you know, because sometimes this is somebody coming back for different reasons. Sometimes it's like knowing that you were just being flipped like a light switch. I mean, like, I had to wait. Look at that weight is with the water and the 8 and the somebody catch it on fire, somebody trying to pull it through pictures over here and put it a coin. It's like, ooh, what do you see here, darling? Who's here? Some of y'all are in a special initiatory group now. Thank you for knowing what to do with this. Thank you. And those of you that know that this is something that got initiated the right way because of how this energy is striking you, especially if it's like got that kind of fatherly vibe, but coming like a little crazy. I'm hearing it's the right way. Just to set it off. Okay, so that person. Well, I was hearing Leo, wasn't I? That could very well be somebody that's got sun, moon, rising somewhere in one of the fire tribes. So Leo is definitely a fire tribe. I'm hearing Virgo again. They might be a combo. I'm hearing it's Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius are usually what our wand knights are. I'm hearing too for somebody, it's like, I was hearing some things that people are learning how to deal with, where it's like, especially if you've been dealing with somebody from like a distance, where you haven't really seen them either in a long time, or it's like you haven't really particle materialized in front of each other for different reasons. It's like you might be nervous about what is seen. And it doesn't have to be, you know, physically. For some people it's definitely physically. For a lot of people it's like emotionally. It's like the scars, you know, and like where the maps will show how somebody might have been used as that pawn that somebody had printed all over themselves, you know. And with those charges in the fat wall for ET, actually has been on display. It's like, burr, 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 burr. Here's why. It's supposed to be scary. Booga, booga, booga. Go away. Not in our house. You can't wrap that one up. You got to get there. You got to go there. You can't just like tie it up. And so it's hard if somebody won't move either. This person's like a plant there. You see? He got stuff growing all over him. He doesn't get up if he doesn't need to. He's got this string. He's like stringing it along. He's like, look what I can do. And he's got the stuff to prove it. So I'm here. You got to wrap yourself up in that yellow thing that's going to feel good, and you need to go. So, somebody will. It's going to be emotional too. I'm hearing if this person wasn't home for some reason, if they left, it's like sometimes they have to go far to come back. It's like it takes a while. It takes a minute. So I'm hearing that it's good for this person to know, especially only if you know you're welcome there. Because I'm hearing for some people, if you're the don't. And don't, because there's surveillance on that, and I'm the no you don't guy. It says I already dropped a magnet on that, so it's best just to check yourself into that other place. You probably got a text on your phone when I said that says swipe here and we'll come help you. It's discreet. We're cleaning it up nicely. Okay, so but if you're the one that's welcome there, you know, it's like I'm hearing if you miss them, they might be in the garden. Or like greenhouse thing, because it might be cooler there. But if they're not there, I'm hearing you'll be patient enough to wait. Especially if you haven't seen them in like 8 years. I mean, it's like 8 years is what I'm hearing for somebody with this 8 cups here. Yeah, okay, for other people, this is like somebody taking like an overnight flight is what I'm hearing, or like going over water. It's like something, it's going to take you hours to get there. And so, I just keep hearing it's like red eye. Let's see what we've got here at the root. Well, we've got 2. This here for me looks like somebody flying over water. A little bit. And for some people, this is like halo communication or long distance psychic stuff and learning where to cut. Because for some of you all, it was like somebody was like you might just want to swipe on that text message, you know, that one. And because we have a special way that we're cleaning these out when they find messages like this now, so people can check themselves into the right kind of help. Because we have a special MS-DOS experiment for HAD OS. It's like Hades, but where nobody got into the water. Nobody had an X file on you to port themselves through blue things like your teeth that came through your ear and might sound like your ear, and hey, a noose. Way to tie the knot there and land it. Area 51 strandings and strangulations on 12 strand DNA, and you strand yourself like that here? No fucking way. It's cut time. So that's what happened there. If somebody was trying to get into the 9th gate portal to 6 with you. Okay. You know? They like those kingly moves. It's really grubby. And for some of you, that's the funniest thing, because it's like this person that might be coming to you might be like more like your dad, I'm hearing. Especially if it's like a she. I'm hearing she is like a lot like your dad or something. It's like, it's a nice reflection for you, though, because there's a certain healing that you can get in that, is what I'm hearing. It's like a weird emotional, I'm ready to leave this behind thing. And I'm hearing for some of y'all, it's like she looks a lot older than him. People say he's older than her, but she looks older than him. And they were having hang-ups about it. And they were trying to figure something out. I'm hearing it was like a shame thing. And I'm hearing for other people, it's just knowing how to make an approach when you can see that you're excited for something, and it's like, I'm hearing it's like the other person might seem like they're too good to be true. Bless you, baby. My little boy is over there. He just sneezed. I have a kitty over here. But I'm hearing it's like there's some kind of special relationship here to how one is perceived. And like the way that they're willing to do that first. It's like this person's covering up their eyes, they're meditating, or they're refusing something. Something is actually refused here for this two to exist like that and to be held up. It's like, you know, they're holding a pose. It's a very special yoga here. It's also a special way to tune in. And those of you that are interested or that are electromagnetically sensitive, you might feel it, especially now if you can hear the subtleties of my energy here. And if you take your fingers and just go like this on both sides of your head, it's like you can feel the energy like entering here. We're sealing things so people can't put false information. Because for some people, it's like you haven't been able to make this decision because of things people were telling you that you might feel like it was your guides. And sometimes it was like too many guides saying things, and there was like too many saying one thing and one saying something else, right? It's like, what do I listen to? Well, I gotta go with the majority, right? That's what the scent, the new tell, is. It's coming, you know? You get a smell for it. And so for some people, it's like tuning out certain noise and like knowing what I just showed you here. We're training those halos with what actually gets to come together, these magnets. Run your, you know, magnetic silly putty that I think gets to land better if you're one that landed, you know? So, gnosis, and what to know about these. I just felt it like right here in my wrist. Right here. It's like somebody got stabbed right here. Feels like me. I'm covered in stigmata for the LARP, you know? Okay. Let's see what's up ahead here. So, 5. Here's where it gets feisty and competitive. And for some of you all, it's like where somebody realizes, I already knew I waited too long. That was one of the first things that I heard. And so it's like somebody with a fire under their ass to get there, because I'm hearing it's like there's already 5 that are blocking. That's what I need to hear for somebody. It's like, so somebody's trying to come in here and like put their sword and like separate somebody's energy. It's like you might have something that you have created for yourself here. I'm hearing y'all might have role reversed somehow or something, or like misinterpreted what was happening. But it's like people are blocking, and so it's like something else happened. It's like something gets cut off, and somebody either does it from the inside or like does it from the outside, depending on where they are. Either way, it's like the view goes all the way around because somebody already left. And look, It's the sun and the moon. It's like being able to see all the way around. It's like, oh yeah, call that AM, PM, call that the clock, call that while I'm asleep. I know everything. When I see it like this, and where some of you all are receiving very special light coordinates, and what that's going to feel like when the body starts to feel better because certain things are cut off of sacred energy. We've been doing a special prayer here to make sure that false invaders that could ever try to land and skin to hurt children, you know, and stretch us out, where now we can slow down, right? Instead, can we do that, right? Oof. Yeah, let it match on itself that way for donated eyes on that, you know. And so what we know is that we can do very special things when we all see it clearly. You know, it's that kind of a conjunct eye. It's a special super vitamin. You know, we all super infuse together on what can we do to concentrate. That's what gold knows about the reserve. And a different way to pack it. So we have a DNA particle material explosion that's been going on, where these energies are now being reconciled, and where activity has happened, where some people have taken a lot of time putting into certain areas that have manifested beautiful things around them. Kind of what that note was that I put for those of you that follow my community board here on the to be or not to be. And you know, it shows up that way when somebody's really tended to it. Some people get planted like this too, but somebody actually really tended to that first, you know, to make it that way. So it's going to give you a lens on what kind of swarm of energy is happening around. Because for some people, that's how they're guarded. Oh, I keep getting it in my hand itching. It's like somebody keeps trying to reach in and take something. And that's why they had to be guarded. And for some of y'all, that's turned into something else. So it's knowing what to do with this energy, especially if it's emotional, and if somebody's already speaking a whole creation onto themselves, such as, I wish I were more passionate, I took too much time, I already know I'm late, and you know, how they flunk the design and just walking away. And how others know that that same thing that they just said, they can apply that to one situation over another one. And that's where everything is like swoosh. That's what we know about operating systems in the wash. So, 5. This is competition. This is sometimes quarrels. This can be power struggles that end up at an impasse too, because sometimes people don't want to do anything about it. So let's just keep that in mind. It's about choosing where you put that energy, because sometimes people will be doing all that busy work around you, and it's like, oh, right, get it. Yes, I'm just gonna, ooh, magnet, you know, and call it forward and speak something differently, truthfully, from where you actually know you groomed that, because that's what we're actually particle materializing around. It's a selective determinant process that's happening on a basically a subcutaneous fat level that's getting swap particle. I was like, what do they get wrong about moth ER and fat her? I'm like, wait a second. They're talking about her hair over here, and they're lying about him over there. Where's the cankle on that one? Put that in the right place, please. So we've got a different kind of surgery we've been conducting on an electromagnetic particle level where bitch tactics happen like that. So what can we do about this situation? Let's learn a little bit about what the love instigation module knows that happened with this very unique set of cards that had to material wrap itself and play honey. I spooked y'all out with the gotcha grab'ems and what somebody knows about finding virtue and how it wasn't in cards, and we knew what to do with the plastic. It's like, all right, you want to talk about that? These cards know things. And so does this wood. Not? Do you know what would not do? Pet alms? New. Low. Was it love? Flowers. Wolf? Wolfflower? What's that owl know? Got it? We got printing things on sound. So some of us wrapped it in plastic. Some things blocking off and being tuned out to. Brilliant. Why, it's mostly in the shade of black. There's definitely some little ripples of snowflakes here and what would appear to be tiger's eye. It's a very nice specimen. Wonder how that gets split up and mashed like that. I wonder how these bodies did that too, and now we have a code to uncrack that code on. So, Romance Angels Oracles, what do you have for us? Oh, well, let go of control issues. That's good to know. That means that those things that want to control it, think a little bit gone, because the Condia packages on .com mockups. And what that did. So if it was crap, it magically turd wrapped. So allow this situation to it says unfold naturally, and for some of y'all that's working for you, because what a flower knows about shedding the petal in the right place. And where the other things kind of unfold. You know, that's what disintegration is. It's really not a good cure for anything. We want to integrate things. And bioharness communication around beautiful art that can be applied to much better use now, especially around pixelated graphics that pull people underwater and laser light shows and things they put in your eyes. Ice is melting for a reason. It's only inconvenient to ones who want to jump into your algorithms and say, hey, I made it, bought it, you're it. But you're not going to know because I show up in a different way where you don't know that it's me. It's a puppet. Do you know what Vlogmas was all about? Same glove, sticking it in, putting their hands. It's like bodies as prophylactics. Let go of control issues. Those things are being released in a way that's rather tragic, because it's what they chose when they tried to pull us apart like that, and where all it can do is disintegrate around a living work of art that you are. Forgetting that, right? So, knowing that love yourself first is the first way to integrate that to you. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. So some of you all have called in a very special kind of union. This is why I'm saying it's magnetic particles that are coming so fast that now they don't smash their faces off and wind up in crushes everywhere because we were just in love with everything. Where this twin flame idea goes for a real serious bath, and like Kali Ma gets just like the perfect manicure and like everything she wants, and all the other stuff burns. Because Kundalini first on all of it. And what we did with the violet flames. So when you do that for yourself, it's amazing because you treated the water so well and you groomed yourself so well that it also brings your other level. But now it doesn't just... And we have a special way where we can rise together, and where it takes two to have done the thing the same. To land there, it's a fucking shame. And so it's beautiful for those of you that called the right kind of attention all around you and knew where to get cutty in the right places. Sarky, huh? Sarcoffy? Why noffy? So, I love you. Let me know what you think. If you feel like this could help somebody, I appreciate your support. Thanks for that. And yeah, hit me up if you'd like your own. If you need more support, reach out. Very Fine Martians. Discord below. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.
Promise that you'll catch me.